Good afternoon again. This is Adam with another review. 137. This is the Pyle wah pedal I was talking about. All plastic. That's metal. Somewhat metal. It's made in China. Just want to go over some, little things. People review them, but I want to try to get in depth. And there's the plastic piece that I talked about last time. It's got grease on it, which is a little, which could break if you're heavy on it. But, wrong screwdriver. I want to show you the different. Hopefully this is it. The different. Okay, this will work. When you want to change the battery, unfortunately, it is a pain. Well, but you have to take off the rubber feet or whatnot. That comes off. It tells you if you're not going to use it for you're not going to use it for a long period of time, to take the battery out. That way it doesn't ruin the inside. When batteries discharge, they put a lot of that rusty residue, which can corrode the insides. Now, once that's off, it's the plate. It's got a little cheesy little piece of felt right there that goes against the battery. That's the battery and the circuitry inside it. As you can see, they have silicone on this particular area. I guess that will keep it from falling out and whatnot. The soldering seems to be okay. I'm not going to complain about that. Everything is. I know there were some reviews where something had hit it, and it stopped working. But I don't know. Maybe it was just a fluke incident. But this is the inside of it. As you can see, when you turn it up, the grease that's in there, it spins freely. So the battery just pops out. It's got looks like a metal hinge right there. It seems to be pretty well built. So far, I've had no problems with it. Like I said, the soldering seems to be good. The wires are pretty secure in there. It's also got right there where the wires go through and up, and it's crimped down with a piece of plastic, so you're not hitting the wires. But all in all, it seems pretty good. There was nothing loose on it. You know, you got your 9-volt adapter if you don't want to use the battery, which I still have to get, but I thought I had one and I don't. Like I said, it seems pretty good. Everything is solid. There's nothing to that's gonna come loose that I see. But it's a pretty simple, you know, setup, it looks like. So they did a pretty good job putting it together, other than the plastic. But you know what the money you're spending, this is what you could expect. So you know, then once you put the battery in, it's got the clips that hold it in place. I mean, it's plastic, so I would be very cautious on being rough with it. You put the plate back on, and put the feet back on it. Of course, drop one. That's the only. It's almost like those old 70s and late 60s foot pedals where you had to, you know, foot pedals were about the size of this. I had an old phaser. I lent that. I never got it back, but it was the same principle. You had your 4 screws. You had to take the big back panel off, battery in it. But it didn't have to my knowledge, I don't remember, it didn't have a 9-volt hookup, so pretty much ran off 9-volt battery, and that was it. So you had to keep on those models. I forget what model, what brand it was, and when you tighten these screws, just be careful because it is plastic. And you don't want to strip it. Well, it'll just be a pain in the ass in the long run. You have to be taping it up. Yeah, like the old phaser I had was pretty much about the same size, roughly, maybe a little bit wider. The one thing button in the middle, two controls for it, and that was it. So you had to keep a lot of batteries with you because it would always die and whatnot. And then this I just received is the Beringer preamp booster. This too is, well, let me show you the front. You got your bass, your min, your gain, and your treble, and your light for it to go on when it's on. It's made it. The whole thing is plastic except for the bottom piece. It does give you some directions on how to maintain it. Hold on a second. This is the box it comes in. It's a nice box. It's sturdy. It comes with like a billion directions. your Japanese or Chinese directions it comes with. Your English. So it doesn't have an on and off switch, obviously, but once you if you leave your wires in there, it activates it, so you can kill your battery really quick. And all the other specs it has. And then these are just some other tidbits and whatnot that come with it. Important note concerning installation, the sound quality may diminish within the range of powerful broadcasting stations and high frequency sources. Increase the distance between the transmitter and the device and use shielded cables for all connections. And I did notice that on, I don't know, maybe it was me, a psychological thing, but I did notice that when this was further from the amp, it actually sounded a little bit better. I don't know, maybe it was just me. I mean, it was late in the night, so it could have been me. It is almost like a Boss style. Once again, it's all plastic, and Boss has got, you know, like, where are we? Let me get that. These are all Ibanez. But on my Boss compression sustainer, it's somewhat similar to it. The only easy part is you turn the screw. Obviously, people who have a Boss pedal, or some people who don't, when this pops up, the battery goes in, and it's good to go. On this feature, I mean, it's a little tedious, but there's a pin right there and over there. And what you have to do is, bear with me, it says use a pencil, but you push that in, that pops up. You push that in, the whole lid comes up. You got your little cushion, you got your little rubbery piece that hits the switch. Then you have to be careful because your spring can fall out. And that's where your battery is. So you got your mechanisms for that. And then you got your little switch right there where this hits, and it's pretty flexible. So I don't know. Let me just see if I can see what the insides look like. I don't think so, because I think I didn't try. I was impatient, so I couldn't figure out how to get the battery out because I did not read the directions. So if you don't read the directions, you'll be lost for a couple of minutes and trying to figure out where the battery is, and that's a whole nother unnecessary. Took the battery off, and this is hard plastic. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I couldn't get the back off, and those are little screws that are in the sides right here. So okay, that's your plate, metal. This is rubber. To be honest, I really figure out how that actually comes off. Oh. Oh. Maybe I have to pull the knobs off. And I just got this, so. Okay. You got to take the knobs off to get to what you need. So, this is plastic. These are your knobs. Pretty long. And this is your inside of your circuit board right there. And that's your switch right here that you step on. Plastic inputs and outputs. I don't know. There's really not much to this at all. So this is my first preamp that I have actually bought. So I don't know what other ones look like. But I like some Ibanez pedals. Because I did order a Beringer graphic equalizer that I should be getting Wednesday. Because my Ibanez is not working right and I cleaned it and whatnot. So maybe I'll take that Ibanez apart and the Beringer and just see how the components are inside it. See if they're relatively close. But they claim that they do very well against other makes, But once again, it's plastic. So being rough on it will probably break. So I expect there are some guys who actually have had these because they are cheap. And from what I hear, they sound very well. I mean, I have heard other Behringer effects, and they do work very well. They sound pretty damn good, but you spend $24 on a new pedal compared to 80, 90, on another brand. But that's pretty much it. It seems like it's pretty much well made. So, and I like taking things apart as soon as I get them because I like to see how the eternal looks like inside. It's always a fun piece, and these screws are very tiny. I'm already putting it together wrong. Plate seems like it's the heart of the foot pedal. These you could probably tighten a little tighter than the Pyle because it's a metal threads. But if you do it too tight, you probably wind up cracking the housing. Probably easier if I invest in a little handheld power drill. Make a difference. Well, more specifically. That's that. Battery back in. Make sure your springs. Back flick. Back flick. Good to go. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.